Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at how Ainz Ooal fights, how he approaches strategies and tactics. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. There are many anime protagonists like Goku, Naruto, Luffy, and others who usually fight in the same manner: fair, honestly, openly, and only when necessary, never to kill, and only in defense. The Straw Hat Pirates don't raid villages or incite wars, and they consciously avoid taking advantage of anyone. Vegeta and Frieza, not Goku, conquered foreign worlds, and Naruto doesn't aim to destroy other villages, but only defend his own. Even Sanjin Wu, for example, eliminated the other hunters only when it was clear, as in a clear case of self-defense that would hold up in any court. And he didn't launch a preemptive strike, for example. He could have engaged the cast of the group in a conversation, only to thrust a blade into his ribs midway through, since he already suspected them of betraying him anyway, but again, he did not do it. He waited, made it clear to everybody, including the audience, that this is a case of self-defense, and then defended himself. And then there's Ainz Ooal, who approached things quite differently. The undead overlord of Nezarec fights neither fairly nor honestly, and doesn't shy away from committing atrocities or starting entire wars if it benefits him or his great tomb. However, he's not a mad tyrant, reveling in the suffering of others, nor does he attack foreign lands for the thrill of conquest or power. Ainz Ooal's fighting style, strategies, and tactics are consistently amoral, and I don't mean that negatively. One could view Ainz' politics and rule as realpolitik. Internally, Ainz is very kind-hearted and generous. He forgives his own allies and subordinates for mistakes, encourages them to learn from those errors, welcomes and nurtures initiative from the subordinates, and he has no issue admitting faults of his very own and acknowledging defeats. However, externally, Ainz is ruthless in prioritizing the well-being of his guild, the Great Tomb of Nezarec, and the interests of the Sorcerer Kingdom above all else. This is evident, for instance, in the war that the Sorcerer Kingdom waged against the Kingdom of Ainz after a single noble attacked a single grain transport. And as we all know, it was not the kingdom's intention to seek out conflict, and from the kingdom's very own perspective, this action made no sense. They wanted to avoid any further bloodshed. And Ainz also suspected that it was a noble acting alone, and that there was no grand strategy behind it. However, in terms of foreign policy, the Sorcerer Kingdom was under pressure. If it were perceived as weak, other nations might have tried to exploit this perceived vulnerability and initiated a war, while the Sorcerer Kingdom was still relatively new and poorly established. Therefore, he had to make an example out of the Kingdom of Ainz, not because the kingdom deserved a war of extermination, but because the geopolitical situation demanded a show of strength from the Sorcerer Kingdom. If purely hypothetical, the world consisted only of the Sorcerer Kingdom and the Kingdom of Ainz, the consequences for this attack would have been much milder, since there would have been no external pressure to act in order to preserve face and the prestige of the realm. Another example occurred when Ainz Ooal unleashed a fireball spell on a watchtower, where an enemy leader presented hostages to prevent the advance of the incoming forces of Ainz. And Ainz resolved this issue by burning the watchtower down, along with the hostages and the enemy leader, thus destroying any leverage and making it clear to the other enemies that the remaining hostages were worthless to them. So while he eliminated children, innocent people, he likely has saved more life than he had taken. And Ainz willingly accept such collateral damages of the innocent, as for him, only the results matter. This amoral the end justifies the means mindset is also evident in Ainz Ooal's personal combat strategy. When he fights friends, or is honing his close combat skills by training with Cocytus, Ainz is a beacon of fairness. However, his attitude towards combat changes when it gets serious. It's not about determining who's better among friends, but about defeating an opponent. Ainz has no problem with lying, deceiving and outsmarting the opponent, and emotional manipulation is also frequently employed, as exemplified in the battle against Platinum Dragonlord, where the supposed Ainz went to his knees and begged for mercy in order to get the armor to talk, to reveal his motivation, his way of thinking. And again, Ainz Ooal has hit himself. He did not fight personally, but sent his subordinate and de facto son, Pandor's Acton, to the fray, with the instruction to manipulate and deceive Platinum, and gather as much information about him as possible. Ainz prefers to even lose the first encounter with the enemy, creating a sense of superiority in them, luring the opponent out of their comfort zone, making them explain their plans, showing off their skills, and only then he will be withdrawing, disgraced and defeated. Or so it would seem, because eventually, when, not if, when he returns, he will be fully prepared and will start a second battle to exploit the opponent's weaknesses that he just learned about. And if everything works, he will defeat him, thereby neutralizing him for good. Moral, honor and fairness have no place in Ainz's perspective of war and fighting. There is no substitute for victory in war, and Ainz does everything to achieve it. And that's why the battle against Shaltir is so interesting, as it brings Ainz's love for the children of his friends into the conflict with his combat tactics, him outsmarting Shaltir, and his still lingering hesitation in the battle against her almost costed him his victory, because he only won because he had been saved by Aura's short intervention. And this was a great way to illustrate character conflict. So amidst all of this action, Ainz Ooal's inner turmoil could still be read by his course of actions and his hesitation. And with that said, now it's your turn. What do you think about Ainz Ooal's amoral tactics and strategies? Let me know it down in the comment section. And while you type, let me say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placidus Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Haster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Chromius, J. Morris, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Okill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrinekeeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.